I don't know so much about that, but I hear that people did try to develop the script. There were people attached to it, and maybe it's just the sort of thing. It's like a fine wine; it needs to, or a stinky cheese. It's got to age. It's got to get to, you know, you got to have the right people. Who else in the world is going to play that part besides Matthew?
I got asked a question earlier about why was it so hard to get made, and someone asked me, do you think it was because of HIV, or do you think it was because the protagonist is not really a protagonist and he's a wild sort of anti-hero? And my opinion would be that all of the studio desks that this script or story crossed over the 20 years, it got passed on probably after period HIV drama, and a lot of people said nope.
That was the appealing. I'm looking, you know, from one film to the other. I'm looking for different challenges, and so that was quite one. And you know, you do your homework. You try to find out about the world you're trying to portray, and the characters and the people and the Texas people, and try to understand them, to love them, to love your subject, your story, and what an amazing story, you know. This guy, he's told he's got 30 days to live, and oh yeah, you watch me.
Curious about how you did this so seamlessly. It helps me to go work back to back to back, because I sort of get lubricated, and my wires and frequencies are wide open.
I think the experience is a way made me a better actor. I think that I grew, you know, and I think that helped me. But I do completely agree with what he said about staying lubricated. I think that's, you know, that makes a lot of sense. But I had other things I was doing. I think creativity is creativity. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're taking a photograph or making a play or directing a film, it all comes from the same place. So I was certainly being creative.
We're like exchanging balls, exactly, and being creative together. And I wanna nail the emotion. I'm a sucker for. I'm a good audience. I cry easily. I laugh. I'm shocked. I'm pissed. And I was watching these guys, and we were trying to find, you know, the right color, the right details, and it was being creative on the spot and trying some stuff. And so is that proactive, I guess, huh? You know, I felt sometimes I was in my 20s doing, you know, a film with not a lot of money, 25 days. But since we didn't have an electric crew, no grip crew, no lights like this, and they were like free to use the space and use 360 degrees to move.
There are more lights on this and cameras on this set than I ever saw on the film ever. It's literally. But it was an incredible process. It was great when you turn around, you just move the camera from one side of the actor to the other.
We never really got behind. And I think a lot of directors would have, after week one, would have finally caught up to him with like, oh, we're not getting all this. We have to pick up the pace. We were getting 5 pages a day from day one, basically because we kind of said there's no choice. So no one had to pick up speed, and what small crew we had didn't have to figure out, no, this is faster than any film you've made. You knew you were going to get sort of a film that had some import to it, you know, that felt like, hey, this is going to be good medicine. I should go see this. And you get that with a lot of independent films. But what we got out of it, and I think what you're talking about, and part of what makes it feel like the slam dunk you're saying, is no one knew it was going to be highly entertaining. And it turned out to be an entertaining film on its own that's dealing with a dramatic subject that isn't a big downer.